Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
cool
fine.
with it.
Okay, so hello, my name's Billy, and I would like to introduce my first guest, Pia Cruz, the amazing Pia Cruz, for our podcast, first ever episode of The Promising Creative. So, basically, I was away, and when I went to Bali, I decided that I wanted to do something which was a little bit more different from what I normally do. And I wanted to be able to reach out to people who are in the creative industry and get their feedback on their journey. And I kind of like bumped into you through Instagram, and we became friends. We went out for dinner, and then you stayed here for a few days, and we chatted. And I was like, do you know what? I really would like to hear your story a bit more, in a bit more depth.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
And coming all this way down and seeing me today, which is really nice. So I wanted to start off by I've got some questions that I want to ask you. So what's the first question I want to talk to you about? So can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you got started in streetwear and modeling?
Okay. I'm like literally backtracking to how I started. I was already shooting at the age of like 16, 17, right? So my mom got me this DSLR camera when we first moved into UK. So this is how like my life started really. So 14, moved to UK. I think I'm supposed to go to college, but she got me a camera, which is a DSLR, a Nikon D5000, because I really want to get into photography first. So that was my hobby first before anything else, right? Because I'm young, trying to experiment. So I would set up the camera in front of me with the tripod, and I would literally just like pose, like practicing my poses. Like it was just like, you know what, like no one's here, I'm trying to create something, let me just try and figure shit out. So I was just like, yeah, posing until it became my hobby.
Okay.
Right? So at a young age, kind of like knowing my angles, which is really weird because at that age I was thinking about, oh, this would look good if I like tilt it this way, angle a little bit or that way. So at that age, trying to just keep shooting, or I asked my brother to like take photos of me. That's how I started getting into creativeness at that age, right?
At 16.
Yes, 16, 17, that's when I'm like, this is what I love doing. And then something bad happened. Unfortunately, I have to sell my camera because my granddad passed away, and my mom have to go back to Philippines, and she didn't have any money. So then it was sad for me, but also like I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
So I had to sell that camera, and I didn't take photography in college, right? So I was a bit like, it's a bit sad trying to find myself again, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Went to college. I've finished it. I shoot here and there, but it wasn't anything like crazy or special. I was still shooting with like creatives on Facebook, and I would see someone needs a model. Like I would be like, hey, I'm down. So that's how I managed to learn.
Was you just doing modeling then, or were you just doing modeling?
I wasn't even a real model. Right. I was just like, okay, you need a model? Yeah, I'm down. I want to learn. I want to learn this shit. So at the age of like 18, I finished college, and then I decided I'm going to sell everything and move to Birmingham.
Okay.
So at the age of 18, 19, 20, I moved to Birmingham for like 3 years, right? So I was still shooting here and there until, some like local brands would hit me up on Instagram. I already had Instagram. So back in like year 2000, when I was like 14, 15, I already had Instagram. I was already shooting. I was already posting, but no one knew me then. It was just a random Asian kid, it was nothing. So, I kept shooting at the age of 18, 19. And then that's when I've met like proper creatives, like brand owners, or like a stylist, or like a photographer that is like, that's what type of shoot I want to be doing. And plus I was already kind of wearing You know, I kind of like already dress like a boy anyways. And back then it wasn't kind of fully accepted.
Right.
I was counted out as like, oh, you must be like, you're weird because you're not wearing heels or extensions or blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, so after like 18, 19, I started shooting. I met my baby dad and I got pregnant at 20. I gave birth at 21.
Okay.
But I was still shooting. So
While you were
non-stop
pregnant?
shooting. Yeah, I was still shooting at 5 months old. You know, and I was still trying to, whatever job they have in Birmingham, like I would still go and do it for such little money. But for me, that didn't matter. It's just really my passion.
And how was you surviving then at that point?
Doing shoots here and there, like many of them. British Hair Awards, like I wasn't getting paid enough, but my travel will be covered, my transport, and they'll pay me like, you know, like the minimum below day rate, but I would still do it because it's my passion.
Yeah. So you were turning it into income. So
Yes,
you was eating out of it, but you wasn't eating enough, but you were still getting on.
I was still doing it. I was still on it. Like, okay, where's the next one? Where's the next one? Because it's such little money. I was always trying to find ways to be booking more until, you know, I've been posting quite a lot on Instagram. And then I became homeless at 21 with my little boy.
And that was in Birmingham?
This was in Birmingham, yeah.
Okay.
After I split up with my baby dad, we moved into my friend's spare room. And this is where everything happened. This is the craziest part because I thought I lost everything.
Okay.
Magic happened. Magic happened. The moment I left a toxic relationship that isn't good for my soul and I see that my son ain't gonna be happy, and I know how that felt, I stepped away. I knew that we was gonna be broke and struggling, but I found peace within then. But I was still shooting, you know,
Still
shooting,
hustling.
still hustling. Never stops, right? Until one day, I got this like random message on Instagram, and they were like, "Hey, so we really like your look. We're trying to fly you out to Paris to do this shoot." Bear in mind, I was homeless. I had nothing. I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Emailed me. They were like, "Hey, we really need to book you. Like, can you ring this number? We will speak. This is genuine. Like, we need to get this going." After the phone call, I still couldn't believe it. Booked me a flight, flying in a couple of days, right? I woke up that day. Okay, shit, it's actually happening. Got to Paris, did the shoot, came back within, probably less than a month. They paid me because they knew my situation, and we moved into our new home. And then after that, I got signed as a model, a proper one. I got offered a contract through Instagram also while this is happening. Like, I was just recently homeless and moving into a new home, and getting signed, and like so much happening, like after losing everything that I had. So it's
you sort of gave it away, and then it all came back.
It came back in the most beautiful way.
Yeah.
It's like I have to surrender, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the blessing came when you accept the fact that this is life. It's no different from any other human beings. Like, we go through this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mad.
How did you, so when you left and then you went to live in this one bed or your friend's like room,
Yeah.
and then you got the job, was there a moment when you weren't sure or were sure? Was there a point in time when you thought, do you know what, I just got to believe that this is going to happen for me and I'm just going to push on?
I still couldn't. I got on a flight and I got to the airport and I still like closing my eyes, open them, and I'm like, whoa, I'm really here. And that's nothing. And I was still like, we didn't have a home then, you know, but that was like, wow, I can't believe it got me here.
Yeah. And then you came back and then you got yourself a flat.
Exactly. Now I got assigned Wilhelmina through Instagram. They offered me a contract straight away, and I was like, yeah. I'm 5'1". You're not gonna sign me. But then they did, So it opened a lot more doors for me.
So tell me about your tattoos. So at what point did you start to put ink on your body? At what point did that start in that process from, say, 16? When was your first tattoo? What was it?
Okay.
What?
18.
18.
So my first ever tattoo was my granddad's birthday. He passed away. He was my father figure.
Okay.
So I named him after my son, and he's like really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So I got his birthday tattooed on me. That's how it started at 18, and then gradually, I already had my neck done before I was pregnant as well. So at like 19, I was already covered.
From your neck.
From
and
my
then
neck.
you just started.
And then after birth, giving birth, I was just covered.
Because I saw the other day on Instagram you were getting more done.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Yes.
Is that just sort of like, is it a bit
That's a
addictive? Because
random one.
I've got some here now.
Love that.
Yeah, I've got my dad here, my mom, my dad, and
Oh my
myself.
god! The set Roman numerals.
Yeah, so
mad.
and I feel like I'm getting some more done here now, and I'm like, right, actually, I know what I want to put here, and I know I want to start building. And is it some sort of like addiction? Is it?
I don't think it's an addiction. I think it's really like what you really want. If you're indecisive or not, it really depends in personality wise.
Yeah.
But most people think it's addictive. I don't think it is. Maybe because I was really young into it, and I was already covered, and nothing was planned. I didn't plan to be tattooed all the way through. By the way, it was just alignment. My tattooist also, he's the first person to ever believe in me. I couldn't even believe in myself, right? He hit me up on Instagram way back. I was signed homeless and everything before I was so after I gave birth. He was like, sent me a message on Instagram. He said, Pia, you know what, one day I see you getting signed. I was like, you're silly. And he didn't even ask to like, here's how much I want. He said, I just want images in return, and I got you. And he's really one of the first people to ever believe in me. I couldn't even believe in myself.
It's amazing. And he's done all your tattoos?
Yeah, he's done both of my arms, like completely. He's seen me having nothing into something is beautiful.
Yeah, and so he's the guy that I saw on your Instagram the other day when he was.
No, that's a new guy. That's a new
okay.
tattooist, Jason. But
Okay.
my first ever one was Thomas Rees. He's from Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so from that moment on, when you got signed, how was your journey? And did you then believe that you were there? You were like, right, okay, this is starting to happen now. I'm going to push on, or was you a bit dubious, or how did you find the industry? Because obviously you're not.
Good question.
You're not the.
I'm
you're
street
not,
smart.
Yeah,
I'm not like
you're not 6'1" and you're a typical type of model. You're edgy. Like you said, you're 5'1".
I'm my
I
personality.
didn't realise you were
like,
5'1", but don't tell me. I don't think I'm much taller, so it's fine. Don't worry.
you need to cut that.
So what happened next? Tell me about what happened after that when you got signed to Wilhelmina, and then what were the steps that happened afterwards?
Okay. So as soon as I got signed to Wilhelmina, my booker, Holly, before she used to work for Wilhelmina, I actually had an attachment to her because like she opened a lot of doors for me. Like it makes me kind of emotional now talking about it. But literally coming from nothing and coming into the office and signing my first ever contract, like Wilhelmina. Like, my 13-year-old would have been like, that's not real. So as soon as I signed, within the first couple of days, like, she managed to be booking me campaigns left, right, and center. Like, I remember actually first signing with them for like a month. I booked a Misguided shoot. A funny story. One of my first ever big campaigns, and I had an allergic reaction the night before from cats, and I stayed at my friend's house, and I literally ended up in a hospital at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I had to discharge myself, and I was like, fuck this, I'm going to work, I'm doing it because I wanted to, because it's my passion. But my first big job was Misguided, and then JD, and then there's just a lot more. It continued on. ever since I was signed as a model, because I feel like people took me seriously because they've not seen someone who's like 5'1" and be doing campaigns. I've not heard of anyone who signed a modeling contract who is under 5'3". I was the first one to do it. And I was just like, wow. She made it happen. Holly, big love.
Big love to you, Holly. And so you started doing loads of contracts. You signed your contract, you started doing loads of jobs. And they started building and building and building. And then how did that affect your personal life? Did it just start to get better and more comfortable, or what were the moves that started to happen as you started to find your feet? Because obviously you started at a point where you were rock bottom.
Look, it was a lot going on. Like, obviously me from, having nothing into like, wow, building a career, something that I did not even expect. My personal life was really difficult. I feel like I sacrificed that part of myself to provide, because I'm all I have. And I also I help my family, I help my mom, and I help my brother. And my personal life, it's a bit, I have friends, but not many.
Yeah.
It's really like home, work, mommy duties, home, work, mommy duties. It's just that it became that. But I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. You just get on with it, and that's...
it becomes normal to me. But then again, also, it's important to keep everything balanced.
Yeah.
And I've realized that along the lines of being in the industry for such a long time.
Yeah. So you just you find work balance. And is that difficult in the beginning? Like, is it just a matter of like, oh my God, I've got to just keep going. I've got to keep going. I ain't got time for nothing but...
That's the thing. Because I feel like if you stop, what's going to happen? Nothing, right?
Right, yeah.
So for me, as a creative, as someone who's literally, I did not have any resources. I did not have any connections. I have to get everything on my own and build everything on my own with no budget, with literally nothing, and just be, going to the right places at the right time, attracting the right people in terms of like work and businesses. And that's really important. Networking is so important in that. I feel like you have to keep on doing that to be booking jobs, or you have to keep shooting or keep producing quality content to be booking jobs.
Yeah.
For you to be seen. You open your own doors, because who else is going to open it for me?
And do you still have that same mindset? Where
of course. That never stops. That never stops.
Yeah. And so if you could sort of pick out your top campaign that you've done, what would it be, and why would it be that?
Okay. I have 3.
Okay. Tell me about them.
1 music video and 2 big campaigns that I would remember till I rest. Mad. Okay, the first one, this happened literally like a couple months after me being homeless. I was flown out to Shanghai to shoot a music video for Joji. Brother Films, they were the one that actually flew me out there. Mad respect for those guys. Like, they've also seen me from nothing into something. And I see them now working with the Grimes, Lana Del Rey, Travis Scott. Like, mad. So yeah, that was my first, like, wow, I do not want this to end. We were shooting for 2 weeks, location. I was driving a moped. I was swimming, trying to kill these monsters. It was so cool.
Okay.
That was the first one in Shanghai. Oh, love it. The second one is the River Island. Holly managed a book for me, my mom, and Leo.
Okay.
Family. That was massive.
Okay.
Yeah. So we booked that campaign. The third one is the YSL, because I never thought I would fucking do that. Hey.
I've seen that. I've seen that campaign. It's fantastic.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Even that,
campaign.
I gave up, That I booked that during lockdown.
Okay.
And I dyed my hair all black, right? So I was just like, fuck it, there's no jobs. So I'm just chill. And I got a casting, and I had to do this like a Zoom call. And they were like, well, we want you blonde in 2 weeks. If you agree, you get the job. I was like, yes, let's do it.
Bring that bleach.
The bleach it.
So then you went out and you shot that campaign?
Yeah, that was a dream come true.
Okay.
That was something else. I was like, wow.
And so where do you draw your street style from? Because every time I see you, whenever you're out, you're always on point. Everything looks right. I'm like, okay, that's powerful. You know, like even, you know, I think you came down to an event that we did, and I just see you walk in the room, and I watched people just like they're just looking at you like that. You can see that everything is working. Do you know what I mean? And then your characters are sort of. Someone was saying to me, like, you know, I was trying to explain to someone who you are and what you're about as a person. And I was like, if you look at your looks, your character matches it because it's just as beautiful. And I was
appreciate that.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. Which is why I wanted you on this podcast, which I was like, right, I need to get your story out there. So how do you draw your inspiration? Where does it come from? Do you just sort of like think, okay, I'm looking here and I'm looking there? Or what ticks the boxes that makes Pia Cruz go, right, I'm going to wear this today, or I'm going to do that move today. This is what I'm about.
You know what? I think it's how I feel on the day. It's so important. For me, because I stay in tune with how I feel and probably look outside the weather, you know, make sure I'm coming out of the world comfy, like on point, me, not trying to be like too fit in or something. But I just want to be comfy, man. I just want to be cozy, comfy, like just, yeah, cool. Where I get my inspiration from, I think I prefer to be comfortable everywhere I go. That's the first thing. And it has to look cool. Like minimal stuff, nothing too crazy unless I'm heading out or like, you know, fashion week or something. But yeah, confidence is the key. The weather, checking the weather if it's like raining or.
And the weather's always funny here anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm always like dressing in comfy clothes.
It's always like, oh my God, the weather's like. I mean, they said it's going to be nice next week, so
yeah,
we have to live in hope, don't we? Really?
Yeah. It depends on the weather, seasons.
Okay, and so you just feel comfortable. You want to look on point. You want to feel good about how you've.
Yes, exactly.
I guess that's what you're saying. You want to feel good.
Yeah. Also, like I prefer men's clothes.
Okay.
I just think they're wavier than the females' clothes, but I mean that's just me. Like I don't know.
Well, someone else said that to me. That also that when they like to wear men's stuff because it's a bit more durable.
Exactly.
And it's a bit like it feels like it's a bit better made. I don't know if that'd be the case. We'll have to get some designers on here to tell us, like, you know, are they making it with better material or stronger material?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it a thicker grade or?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, yeah, I've heard that as well.
It's just way more comfier than the women's clothes. To be honest, is just how it is. The world we live in.
How important do you think social media is and online platforms for building like a personal brand? Because you've mentioned it, like you've alluded to it.
So important.
You were using it from a young age.
It got me signed.
Okay.
It paid my bills. It pays my bills.
Continuously.
I was hacked during lockdown. So imagine how work was for me then, losing it. Crazy.
Did they get it back? Did you get it back?
I managed to get it back because of my people.
Thanks,
Shout out. But yeah.
And so are you posting often, or do you think, right, I'm going to just post once a week, or whenever I've got stuff, I'll post? Or do you think, do you know what, I haven't posted, I need to post, or I need to shoot?
It's basically like a routine to it. If you're trying to build a following on social media, there's time for that. Like there's certain times you can have a look on your settings on your, if you have a business, if your account is on business, you can see what time people are most active. And if you follow along those you know what it says on your profile, you'll be getting enough attention and, you know, exposure or whatever. But yes, I would recommend posting pretty much every day. But it also depends on what you post. I feel like reels are more what's getting all the views nowadays.
Okay, cool. And can you share any advice and tips, it says here, this is one of the questions, for people who are looking to develop their personal style or break into streetwear fashion? Like, what would you tell yourself if you were just starting out and you could see yourself over there and you're like, right, I'm gonna give myself some advice on like what the journey is gonna be and what to expect, or how to behave, or how not to behave, or just how to do whatever you need to do to get where you want to go.
Trust.
Okay.
Trusting yourself. It's really like, probably not a lot of people would think, oh, it's so simple, it might sound so easy, but it's literally trusting and believing in yourself, and trust that whatever choices you make, you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Because it will lead you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like, I can't like sit here and like, oh, this is what you should be doing, or you should be doing, or giving advice that is really important, but it's within yourself, because nothing can take that away from you. You will carry that throughout your career, and that's one good advice that I can give for the young creatives. Trust the process and keep doing it, because if you keep on hitting, like keep going at your goal, you're gonna get there. If you stop, then you ain't. So you're gonna keep on pushing, even though, you know, times get hard here, but so is life. You pick what's hard, right?
Yeah.
Keep going. Trust yourself. Trust the process.
Amazing. Okay. I guess what do you want to accomplish next? Like, what's your thing next? Like, what are you hoping to achieve? And obviously you've got your little boy, and he's obviously a major part of your life. And how's that balance, first of all, between your son and yourself? And then how is your goal that you want to reach to, and how does that look moving forward?
Okay. Right now I'm still, trying to book jobs here and there. But my long-term goal is to have my own production. What I've realized throughout what I'm doing as a creative, that I'm also very good at organizing a team together. It's almost my passion also. It's like, okay, the modeling, just standing there looking pretty isn't doing it for me now. Like, I need production. Like, I need to gather a whole team and make this work, and like everyone books job kind of thing. I want everybody to get paid, and like my group of people to be working together and us getting paid, and that's my goal.
Okay.
That's my goal. I'm working towards having my own production one day.
And so I guess, at what point did that happen? Like, what point did you go from, right, you know what, I've got the angles as a young kid, you're like, I'm looking at my angles, I'm doing my poses, I'm being a model. And at what point did you realize that actually production's where I want to go? I want a group of people to create amazing work, and us all to eat out of the same pie, and all to be moving in the same direction. Was that gradual, or was there a moment in time when you were like, yep, that's the moment I wanted to?
I knew that as a growing up, as someone who's like growing up, because I literally came from nothing as a kid. I grew up barely having anything. I didn't even think dreams would come true, kind of stuff. So when I got to UK, I kind of had this like promise to myself that my people, the people that I love and love working with, I want them to also eat with me. Like, I want them to come up with me. I want to bring them up. Like, I want to provide. I want to help also, because it's not about the money. The goal here isn't about the money. It's literally just like helping other people, because I know what it felt having nothing.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from. And I knew I was going to go towards that anyways, journey.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Oh my God, so good. So I knew you was going to be really good. What do you think are the skills and qualities that you need in this industry to succeed?
Okay. I'm not book smart. I'm street smart. Okay. One thing I've learned, but I don't know, because everyone go through different kind of journey how they get into creative industry. It's because I came up kind of differently. I've learned how to trust my gut instinct. Okay. Because I've like kind of been so independent as a kid as well, growing up until now. That's one amazing skill that I wish people should tune into. It's so important.
Their intuition to know if something is right.
Intuition.
If something is right or wrong for them.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Because we don't really see with our eyes most of the times, you know? It's like we see what we want to see in our head kind of thing. This is getting deep, but...
No, I understand what you mean.
But yeah, intuition is so powerful. That's one good skill. But not everyone is really quick to tap into that, which is, I get. But that's all I knew how to do to survive.
Just trust your gut.
Really,
And I guess
now.
that happened when you left your relationship, I guess. You trusted that this is not working for me. I need to get out of here.
100%.
I need to jump ship.
Yeah. And that intuition, I had to just like go and follow it. Look, it changed my life.
Yeah, look, we're here chatting.
Exactly. We're here.
We're chatting.
Like,
just meeting you and the whole process of us getting to know each other.
Exactly.
And,
Imagine if I didn't leave.
yeah, well, who knows?
Only.
And I think that's important that
Yeah.
in life, you've just got to...
Strong enough, commit to what you think is going to be best for your life, what makes you happy, not what you want. Like, you know, sometimes you want things, but you don't necessarily need it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's some really powerful shit there. Okay. Do you market yourself at all? Or is it all done by you just going out and
That's
shooting
it.
more work?
That's
is that
it.
your marketing?
Yes.
So you're constantly pushing. Is there at any point where you're like, do you know what? I've done enough social today, or I've done enough social this week. I'm a bit tired. If you find that there's too much going on, can you just pull the trigger and just bail out and go, right, do you know, I want to take some time out? Or do you feel that you always have to keep doing it?
The thing is, because like I'm a one person kind of like also handling my socials and emails, it's not good for the business to disappear off social media.
Okay.
But when I have days when I'm just like, I don't want to be on it. I just want to go to the gym and just like live my life at peace. There's many days that I feel like that, but gym helps. I try to get myself out of that thinking, because if I do and like stay away on Instagram for a couple of days, because of the algorithm, it's just not helping me.
Right, okay.
I need someone to be handling it if I'm like choosing to kind of like dip off for a little bit, you know.
And so sport is important to you.
Yeah.
And is it just physical exercise you do, or is there anything else you do? Meditation or...
Oh yeah, I do.
So tell me
meditate
more about what you do
to align myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do to help you like zone out when you're
Too
in
much
the mix?
so-
When you're in the mix and you're like,
Yeah.
I need to zone out for a bit.
Okay, I go back home.
Okay.
I go back home, go to the gym, clean the house, go hiking. Literally.
Where, in Birmingham?
Yeah.
No.
What you mean? You're from Birmingham.
I'm such a Londoner, like I don't even know. But so tell me more. Like what?
Yeah.
You're at that moment where you're like, do you know what? I'm
going back
zoned out. I'm
home.
zoned out. I'm too much going on. My brain is fuzzy. 'Cause our brains get fuzzy, right?
Oh, it
is that the
happens.
easiest way to?
It happens. It happened to me not long ago.
So what do you do? So you go home, you clean the house.
Go
Tell me
home,
more.
clean the house. I go food shopping. Firstly, I go to the gym and then food shopping and then go home and then cook. That is already helping me tune in with myself, because I'm doing something normal.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I'm not skipping food, just like, okay, gotta go get coffee and just run here and like shoot here and like a location here. It's nice, but also like living in an actual life where this is real world, where there's no coming back to that. I have to always come back to that. I have to always like put my foot on the ground and like, okay, grounded, you're grounded, you know, like, okay, stay here. So then, because if I stay here and I stay busy, I crash.
Right.
And that's so normal for mental health. I read a lot of books as well. I listen to podcasts. I read a lot of books. I really try and understand my own, or just like human brain. I try. It's actually low key. I'm obsessed with trying to figure out how our brain works and what keeps us sane, in tune, aligned, what ticks us, triggers. So I do keep, up to date with how I feel and just to check in
And I guess if you're finding that it's not working, do you just do more of it? Or like if you go home and you cook and you feel like, I'm not really feeling grounded yet, I'm still feeling a bit fuzzy, I'm still a bit hyper, do you just keep repeating the process until you feel calm? Is that what happens?
Yeah, because you know what? Going to the gym, it helps you. Going for a run, especially, it releases a lot of like dopamine in your head, you know, like when you feel shit, especially.
Yeah.
And you go to the gym and you feel great after. So
Always,
right?
never before you go.
See? Right. So that's it. Because getting used to that is the key to like keeping it balanced. And if there's days when I just like don't want to do it, like blah blah blah, but I have to push myself because I know I will feel better.
Yeah.
It's pushing it. Yeah, it's just that.
Getting out of that mindset where you feel that.
Yeah, because
I
who
feel
else is
shitty,
gonna?
I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And then like we become our own worst enemy, I guess. At that
Exactly.
point.
And I'm trying to be friends with myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be best friends with me.
That's really well put. Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes, you know, I don't listen to myself, but like there's balance. Like I said, it's just keeping that.
It's amazing.
I'm surprised I've not gone crazy yet.
Well, I think it's hard, especially in this industry, because people are always trying to pull you into different directions, and that's a hard thing because some people want you to be like this, some people want you to behave like that. Then you've got reality, the normal world, and then you live in this. We have to step into another world which isn't really real, where people are not real.
There you go, and that's when intuition kicks in.
Yeah,
because your intuition tells you what your body needs to do.
Okay.
But your mind cannot comprehend yet. So your body is telling you, I feel this way. You probably don't know it yet, but I feel this way. So you got to do something about it. So we become aligned. So when you hear a different voice in your head and you're doing something completely different, it's not aligned, then you need to do something with that. So then you're friends with yourself. You know what to do when you feel unbalanced, unhappy, depressed. You know, you just got to figure it out because this is life. Like, life is short. You got to find the balance in between and live a happy life.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Basically, it's all about trying to find balance.
Yeah.
It is really hard. And it's the hardest. For me, I find it's the hardest thing to find something that will allow me to just be.
I mean, you're busy. Like,
Yeah,
come
like
on.
It's like, shit. When's the button? I need to turn it off. And it's hard. Like, I was speaking to someone just the other day and they were like, I can't, my brain won't switch off. It's just on. Even though I'm taking time out, my brain is still on. And
There
it's
you
that being
go.
able to turn the brain off, the noise level down and to be able to zone out and go, do you know what? You know, this is what I love that you said, you know, I have to love myself. I have to be my own best friend.
But it's easy to say that though, isn't it?
Of course it is.
It's easy to say like, yeah. I'm my own best friend. But really and truly, you become your own best friend when you listen to yourself and your body. But then your mind is like, nah, I don't need that. But deep inside, you know what you need.
Yeah, your body will always tell you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, I agree. So lastly, I wanna. So what is next for you? Like, what is the next thing? What are your big goals for the future? What are your for your aspirations? You've said you want to do stuff which is getting people together.
But you know, that's somewhere along the lines. But right now, because I recently got my citizenship, I couldn't fly out for so many years. Really, like I have to cancel big jobs.
Okay.
I would have moved out the hood by now.
Okay.
Big jobs. And every time I had to cancel, it's like, wow. But anyways, my plan, my goal.
So tell me just quickly about your citizenship. So how?
Mad. Yeah.
So how did that come about?
So I applied a long time ago, probably like way before lockdown, but there's massive delays on the paperwork.
Of course.
For Brexit and stuff and
Well
demanding more paperwork.
Well done, everyone, for leaving Brexit. Well done.
Yeah. It took longer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Cheers for that.
Yeah. And I had to cancel major jobs I was upset about, but you know, I got it now. So, in the next month or so, I'm able to literally fly out and accept jobs that are outside UK. And
Okay.
yeah.
So that's something that you're...
Looking forward to, literally. I'm planning to go to LA. I'm planning to go to Paris, planning to go to Germany. Yeah, just trying to get signed out there and, you know.
And are you signed now?
I am signed in London. I have a mother agent, and I'm signed in Sweden also. That I need to go there and see them.
Okay. So are you hoping to sign to different agencies around in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, should I say?
Yeah.
And that's the aim, is that you're then just jumping from place to place, doing job after job.
Yeah, because through that, I build connection. And through that, I can use that leverage to have my own production. And that's how I see it.
Okay. So you're going to expand, get to know more people, build your web of contacts.
Yeah.
And then use them to create your production company and say, do you know what? We can produce that for you.
Perfect. Yeah. That's
the key.
That's the key.
Okay. And then obviously you've got your boy and he's growing up and he's obviously got your looks and who knows, he might be a model one day. Would you want him to be a model? Would you be like, if he said, Mom, I want to be a model, would you say to him, what would your advice be to him?
I would ask him, is that what you really want?
Okay.
Because also knowing he's been brought up in a completely different environment.
Yeah.
You know, he did not experience the stuff that I did, or, you know, everyone's kind of different, but it depends on him. Like, he was already shooting River Island campaign at 3 years old. Like, man's out here. But he's got it. I see it. Like, he's just like,
him as well. I can see
Yeah.
like when you post and he's like, when I've seen about him.
he knows.
He's a good looking boy.
Yeah.
How
So
old is he now?
He's 7.
Okay.
But if he wants to, I would definitely like encourage him, you know? And the things that I teach him is more of a, if you find something that you're good at, be the best at it and make money out of it.
It's good advice.
Literally, no matter what you do, drawing, painting, singing, acting, modeling, anything that you're good at, be the best at it. Because you might not see that now. Nothing's coming in, no money. Trust me, there would be. And I know that. I see that happening, and I completely believe in it. And I've seen many people, I've met people in my life that started from nothing into something. And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. What an amazing chat. I'm like, is it going to come out? So I'm super excited that you've come on and you're my first episode. Like, I knew it was going to be powerful, and it was going to hopefully it gives people some inspiration, because life is about learning.
That's what I want. Yeah.
It's about learning. Like, we're all trying to learn. We're all trying to find our path, and you don't always find it straight away. And we all have our demons to fight, basically. Do you know what I mean? And belief and trust, you know, and love yourself. Like, these are the key things that I've drawn from this. And I'm just like, I'm super happy you're here. So I'm going to come over and give you a cuddle. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Are you still down there, love? That's fantastic. Thanks for listening to The Promising Creative. If you'd like to listen more, please subscribe to the below. And please go to our website, www.promisingcreative.com. See you soon.